I've seen people who they gone through major trauma. A lady who is 40, 41, 42 years old. She has a 13-year-old son. She is blind. She wasn't fully blind, but she is totally, fully blind now. I'm going to repeat this again, the story, so you see where I'm going. I have a plan with this, so stay with me on this story, okay? Basically, what happens when this lady, she had a twin sister. When they are born as a twin sister, they were accidental child. So the parents didn't want to have any kids, okay? So remember, backing up, backtracking, I told you guys once I was in trance, I saw myself being born, and I was really upset and struggling because somehow my mother got pregnant at age 40. And back then in Iran, age 40, I already had a sister who had I have a nephew who's also 2 years older than me. So that was a disgrace, right? So imagine this lady now, she has that knowledge that the parents didn't want her for whatever reason. That's the first energy, okay? Now, after they're born, when they're a month and a half, the parents get into a car accident. Both parents die right on the spot. People who come to help them, they find her in the car, and the twin sister, somehow the door got open and the twin sister fell off the car. So they take these two kids and they identify who the parents are and they hand them out to the uncle. They stay with the uncle till age 5. At age 5, the uncle gets in a tragic bike accident, and he died at age 28. Now, talking about anxiety, now they have to take these two kids and give them to the other uncle, which is from the mother's side, and he already has 4 kids that he cannot handle, and then they're giving them these 2 twin sisters too. So the abuse that she goes through till age 15, and the twin sister is very different. The twin sister is a rebel, so she doesn't go by the story. She gets beaten up constantly, and it is more pressure on her because she gets really sad that the sister is constantly getting beaten up, and then she tried to make up for it. The pressure that she's trying to work even harder so the sister doesn't get into trouble. At age 15, the sister decides to commit suicide. And she said, let's commit suicide. And she doesn't agree. She said to me in her session, something inside of me told me that I shouldn't commit suicide. I should stay alive. Okay, so the sister takes some medication. She didn't die from that, and she burned herself up, and that's how she died. Imagine the picture, imagine the amount of depression, the sadness, and everything that she just loses herself totally for 2 years. By age 18, she gets married, okay? So she gets married, and that's a different story, and blah, blah, blah. And then she decides at some point that she's going to leave the country, and she moves to Europe. Now, when I have a session with this lady, hearing this story, she has every right to be manically depressed, and she is not. So this raised the question, guys, if someone goes through so many traumas, Why isn't she depressed? Is this learnable? Is this teachable? That then I came to this conclusion, please stay with me, it's not what happens to you, it's the way you translate, you make it really significant, you give lots of energy to it, and it's the way you give meaning to it. Change the meaning and the event will be totally different. Are you with me, guys? Do you hear me? So there has been loads of people with depression that I did session with, and when I asked them, why are you depressed? Oh, because this is really funny, guys. This is really funny. Like, people tell me, oh, I'm depressed because when I was a child, I didn't get enough attention from my parents. I wasn't loved, or that my parents loved the other sisters or the other brothers, or blah, blah, blah. Or the majority of time, people are saying that I've been in a bad relationship and we broke up, and the damage that really damaged me, or I lost my job, or the economy, we had a crash in economy, right? People have many explanations for why they are depressed, but that's not the main thing. What I'm saying is, if you're depressed, it's because the meaning that you have given to that event. Now, you don't want to be depressed anymore. Let's change the meaning. Let's look back at our lives. This happened, that led to that happened. How can we, because till now our translation and the meaning that we give it to has been all negative, right? And then we exaggerate things. For instance, someone wakes up and has a cold. The positive person thinks, oh, I got a cold, I got a flu. Okay, that's great, because I wasn't mindful to take some time off and pamper myself and take care of myself. So this cold or flu has showed up to remind me that I should spend more time, pamper myself, take a nice salt bath, or do blah, 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 or sleep more, or rest more. On the contrary, people who get depression, they say, with sigh, oh, life, why does everything happen to me? Suddenly they globalize it. They make it so big. Now is the whole life that sucks. It's a freaking cold or a flu, right? Are you with me? You see what I'm saying? It's the meaning that you give to something.